Data mining relies on databases use. So I wanted to remind you of some properties of database. So database has an integrity property, which means that from the construction of the database, you can constrain the kind of data you will store. For instance, you can restrict the kind of value that you can input. Let's say you want to record a name. You can constrain this field so that no numbers can be typed. So your name cannot be 1, 2, 3, 4. It has to be made of letters. It will not guarantee that there will not be any misspelling in the name, but it will guarantee that the data you input could be a name. The integrity is also a guarantee from the design by the existence of an primary key in each table, which enable you to find in an unequivocal way one entry. Another property is consistency, which means that when you change an entry, the change will be spread throughout database. Each time the same data is used in different tables, the change will be automatically made. You don't have to change every instance of the data. Every time a field is used throughout tables, changes will be reported automatically. Another property is ubiquity, which means that you can access data from different entry points. You can have access from a computer, a phone at the same time at different places. And you can access it distantly, which is interesting if you want to do data mining while people are using the database to do something else. And there are security properties which are derived from the right management. So some people may have the right to modify, some people may have the right to the modified entries, fields. Some people will have the right to change database structure, change the fields, add tables. So this right management belongs to the database, and there are also possible restoration from the backups which have to be in place when you do a real database. So with that said, you can you can guess or prove for sure that Excel is not a database because it doesn't have those properties. You cannot, in Access, guarantee the waterfall changes in fields. You cannot guarantee easy simultaneous access and so on. So when you have to build a database, please bear in mind that Excel is not the right tool to do so. When you have a database, you can do multiple operations, which are simple operations, but that enable you to deal with the data and maintain the data. First operation is union. You can add different entry of the same structure and merge them to create a new repository of entries. You can project data, which means that you will only consider some properties for each entry. And you can also restrict data, which means that you will only consider some entries, but with all their properties. So reduction, if you consider data as stored in a table, reduction is done on columns for projection and rows for restriction. Another operations kind is the management of multiple tables. So intersection is a way of finding entries that belongs to multiple tables. And jointure is a way of identifying all the different kind of entry possible for these properties.